Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of What Are You Doing? The show where we hold ourselves accountable for what we start all the way to where we finish, where we show pictures of projects in progress. Now, Dan, we had another week of a lot of entries.
Like a whole bunch?
Well, more than last week. Last week I think we were around like 20 or so. This time we're at 24. And I think I probably even missed a few.
So what are you going to do?
Well, we'll talk about that later in the show. But anyway, so let's get right into it. Thomas Tittlemeyer, he made this arts and crafts lamp. He was working on it a couple of weeks ago. It's all done. It looked really nice. In fact, I was looking at the color on it, and I wondered if that was stained or painted because it was so uniform in color, and he did say, yes, it was painted. But at any rate, it looks really nice, Thomas. The next one is from Aaron. Now, Aaron, I didn't get your last name, but Aaron really is into collecting shaving shaving razors. And so that's his razor stand that he had. And I didn't realize this, Dan. I guess there's a lot of collectors out there that, collect the old razor shavers and stuff.
Yeah, I would you mean the ones with the regular blades in them?
Yeah, with the razor blades and stuff.
That probably wouldn't work well with me.
I know, that would scare me too. So, at any rate, I guess there's collectors. So. John Bell. John made this bench, and he actually did it from an old bed set. So, upcycling, recycling, whatever you want to call it, still really cool. Taking something old and making it new again. I thought it looked really nice there, John. Another John. So last week, do you remember, Dan, I had said John McGrath, he met me up at the Adrian show.
Yep.
And then when I saw his work, it just blew me away. So here, he sent me some photos, and this desk/cabinet is called a Wooten desk. And so it was for like the elite white-collared people, where it was a desk with all the storage, like your cabinets and everything in it. But the workmanship on this is fantastic. So
now, would a Wooten desk open in the front?
Yeah,
like
it
two
opens
doors.
Right, two big doors, and you can see on the picture here that it's curved. Dan's getting a call. Dan's getting a call right in the middle of filming, so I'm going to have to move on without him. So, are we good?
Yeah, we're good. It wasn't a call.
All right, well, can we silence that maybe? So you can tell this is like, we're keeping this going. We don't edit this.
Go ahead.
As we go. Because even if you go outside, take the phone call, your mic's still on.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mark Fitzsimmons, he's over there in Ireland. I really like this guy's stuff. This time he made some exterior doors, and I love doors. There's something about doors that kind of give you a hint of what the rest of the house or the room is going to look like, and Mark made these doors, and they just look fantastic, so great job. Now, Kate sent in some pictures. I didn't get Kate's last name, but she restored a 1947 shopsmith. Now, a shopsmith, Dan, are you familiar with one of these tools?
I don't know if I am.
So this is kind of like the universal do-it-all type of tool. It's like a lathe, and then you stand it up, and it's a drill press.
Yeah, I did see one of them, but I heard they're like pretty dangerous.
Well, that I don't know,
yeah.
But for me, I don't think it would work because you have to be very systematic in it. So like if you're using it as a lathe and then you turn it up, use it as a drill press or make it into a table saw,
yep.
I would forget a step, right? So I'd set it up for the drill press. I forgot to turn something and got to set it back down. But anyone that can use one of those and really be productive with it, I give you a lot of credit. But Kate just did a nice job of restoring this old tool. That's something I love to see, old tools cleaned up and used again. David Bishop's been a big supporter of the show for a long time, and David made these shelves and a cabinet for a customer. Now, they had to go between 3 walls, which anyone who's never done this, I got to tell you, that is a hard thing to do because no framer and no drywaller cares if it's square or if it's plumb. And David is trying to fit the cabinets and the shelves to fit exactly into that. So it looks simple and nice, but let me tell you, that was tough. So nice job on that, David. Ron Kirchhoff. He made this rocker, and this rocker is beautiful. It's a spin-off of Sam Malouf's rocker, and I'm telling you, this is one of the finer rockers you'll ever see out there, and I think he did a really nice job of copying, or I shouldn't say copying, right? That sounds bad. Paying homage to Sam Malouf, so nice job on that, Ron. Gerald Jensen, he made this turned bowl, and if you look right in the middle, it's got kind of like a cross-hatching thing going on there. He said that's called a basket illusion. So I think he said he burned it in with, crap, I can't think of what that tool's called, a wood burner. I think he burned it in with a wood burner. But at any rate, it looks neat. It's a nice little detail there. Okay, Philip Quinn. Now, Philip Quinn sent in this picture. He made a stand for his old Craftsman joiner, and he was asking me some questions on it. He needs like a pulley, and I guess the pulley keeps breaking the little key on it, and he was asking me why that's happening and where he can get parts for it. And I flat out told him I don't know anything about machine repair. You know, if it's not wood, I don't know anything about it. So I felt bad I couldn't answer Philip's question, but I thought maybe one of you viewers out there would know. So I'm putting Philip Quinn's email address right down below here. I'll put it even in the description. And if someone out there could help him finish restoring this tool, that would be fantastic. That's kind of like what this community is all about.
It sounds like it's shearing off a keyway.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah.
You know, so
Someone's tying out.
At any rate, so maybe he should be emailing you, huh? Frank Yazetta. Frank is turning into be a regular on the show here, and Frank has turned this cute little acorn. I mean, it's adorable in itself. You can see he's got 2 different woods there, and it's a lid on it. I'm not exactly sure what you would store in that, but nonetheless, it's probably a neat little exercise, something you can do with some scrap wood. Kevin Enlow, he made this poplar end table, and Kevin last week made one, or a different table last week, but he likes to use his hand tools. He says like 90% all hand tools, and you know, you gotta love that. I love using my hand tools. For me, I think it's something. It just makes you feel more connected to it. But at any rate, nice job, Kevin. John Bolva, he made a kid's little rocking chair and a wishing well for his yard. I think he said it covers the septic tank lid. But I was wondering that the little kid's rocking chair, I think he said it was for his grandson, but I kind of have a funny feeling it might be a timeout chair for that grandson. Anyhow, looks nice. Stefan Chatput, he made another wine holder, and he didn't say it in this email, but I think he's been doing it out of some reclaimed material, like pallet wood or whatever, which is, you know, I'm not a fan of pallet wood just because it's like the lowest grade form of wood you can get. It's not stable. It usually has a bunch of flaws, not to mention all the nails you have to pull out of it. But anyone that could take something old like that and turn it into something functional, I think is a good cause. So nice job there. Peter Compton. Peter's down there in the land down under in Australia, and he's turning in to be a regular on the show.
Hello, mate.
And he made this little turned wine bottle a glass, and a tray. And the reason Peter did this was he's got a buddy who has a wine vineyard and a little restaurant. So,
Oh man.
yeah, so he gets
Yeah.
free samplings whenever he wants, which could be bad news for you if you win, right?
I gotta find me a friend like that.
Yeah, you'd put him out of business in no time. Andy Farmer. So we went from the land down under all the way to the UK now. So Andy Farmer made this little veggie rack for, like, picking things out of the garden now.
Yep.
And he too made it out of some recycled timber. And I was teasing with Andy, with your last name being Farmer. It makes sense you'd have to have a little garden, right? Is that like a prerequisite to be in the family? So.
That's a Monday morning joke.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, moving on. So Don Bullock, he made this sandpaper organizer. He said he was cleaning up his shop, and that was a priority for him to get everything really organized so he could be more efficient in the shop. And I'm thinking, Don, you need to come visit here. Could really use you. Lester Grayson. Lester made this plant stand, and what I thought was kind of neat about it, it looks very similar to the three-legged little stools that I make quite often. So I kind of liked it. You can see his is slightly different, but at any rate, I instantly took a liking to it. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to probably screw this guy's name up. David Bochert. Something like that. Guess who's in the club of screwed up names. He's made this. So his email said he made a new shop. He's making a new shop, but I was looking at it and I'm like, man, that's really small. Now, Dan, I love that whole tiny house living thing, but a tiny shop wouldn't work for me. So I had to write David back, and I said, really? Is that going to be like your workshop? So he clarified he's a landscaper, and this is a new little shop to hold all his landscaping tools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but he must be a woodworker if he watches the show. Because I kill every plant there is. I'm not a landscaper. Okay, moving on. David Graham. Now, David took a couple weeks off. He's been building this loft bed. And here's just another photo of the work in progress. And David said in there that he had to do a little bit of redesigning. The height of it everything was not what he thought it should be. And I told him, I can't tell you how many times I've had redesigns. In fact, it reminds me of one funny story. I went out to a customer, and I had to build cabinets from floor to ceiling in this house. And the day came where Dan and I went to deliver it.
I was going to say, I thought I was there.
Yeah. We go to deliver it, and I couldn't get it through the front door because there was like this wall. As soon as you came through the front door, there's like this L-shaped wall. And I didn't remember that. And I asked the customer, I said, was this always here? The guy said, no, I added that. So we had to take out a window. Remember that? We pushed them through the window to get them in. And even then, what I failed to do was I measured the floor to ceiling height there, the distance. But what I didn't realize, this guy also did the ceiling himself. And the last cabinet, the ceiling really dipped. And the last one didn't fit. So I had to take them all back, cut them down, at any rate.
This was like, come on, Dan, this will only take 15 minutes.
And we brought them back to the shop in the end. So, David, trust me, the struggles you're having with your loft bed is nothing compared to what we've gone through. Okay, Tim Charles. Tim has his own little woodworking channel there. He makes a lot of stuff. And Tim picked himself up a new table saw. He said he's real anxious to use it. And I'm sure by the time this episode gets aired, Tim has probably already built probably a couple of dozen projects on it. But at any rate, he's real excited to show off his new table saw. Matt Hart, Matt didn't say what he was framing here. I don't know if he's framing something onto his house or he's framing onto his shop. But the interesting thing I find about framing, I come from a finished carpentry background, and whenever I had to make the transition over on some jobs to do some framing, it's terrible. A finished carpenter should not be a framer and vice versa, because I'm so worried about it fitting perfectly and I forget that it's going to be covered by everything. So as a framer, I'm terribly slow. And then if you spend too many weeks just doing framing and then trying going back to being a finished carpenter, you get really lazy, leave these big old gaps. It's close enough. So for me, that's not a good thing to do, flip-flop back and forth, but apparently whatever Matt's working on, hopefully we'll see more progress of it next week. All right, here's another name I'm going to screw up, Dan.
All right.
Yeah. So it's John Marenchek, I think.
Marenchek.
I think so.
Okay.
If it's not, it is now.
Okay.
But at any rate, so John made this wine storage bench, and it has the dividers that intersect in the middle, like on an X. And anyone who's never done this, it looks simple. You're probably thinking, 45 degrees. No, trust me, it's not, especially if you're dealing with a rectangle. It's a hard thing to do. So, John, I just want to tell you, very nice job on this. And if anyone wants a challenge, you go ahead and try doing it once with some scrap wood in your shop. I think you'll see what we're talking about. Okay, and that brings us down to the guy. Who's the guy we're missing this week, Dan?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
It's
the Kevin Delk Show with tonight's special guest, Chad Stanton. Was that right?
That's right. It's Kevin Delk. At it again. So Kevin's got a couple of things. He's been working on one of these farm tables for a customer. He's got it all complete. I imagine it's probably already delivered to the customer. So there's a photo of it in the shop still. And then he also, this was really cool, and this is perfect for today, because today is, Memorial Day.
Yep.
And so last week, Kevin made this sword display project. And so here's the photo of it being given to the Marine that will be owning it and putting his swords on it. So I thought that was really special, really nice, perfect timing, Kevin, on that.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, very cool. And of course, Dan, what do you always say to all our boys they're serving and gals?
Thanks for your service.
Thanks for your service. Yeah. So okay, that brings us up to today's viewer spotlight of the week. Now I have to apologize. I overlooked this guy last week.
Who was it?
Well, he wrote to me, and last week I said, we didn't have any viewer spotlights this week. And actually, he did. He wrote me a while ago, and he had been patiently waiting, so I have to apologize. This is Augusto Campos. He's from Portugal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, if you watch his videos, they are in Portuguese, Mm-hmm. But you can still understand, what he's doing in the videos just by watching the process, versus this show where I speak English, but you still don't know what I'm talking about. At any rate, Augusto, he's actually a software engineer, and he's been doing woodworking for 3 years. And the way he got into woodworking was, probably like most of these guys, the wife wanted something. And he's like, well, I'm not going to spend that much on it. I think I can build it. Yeah. And that's what he did. And now he loves this. So he's really into woodworking. On top of building stuff, he loves to restore old hand tools and bring them back to their glory.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is neat. That's neat. And his goal, I like his goal here. His goal is to have fun in life and in the shop.
That's a good motto, right?
Yeah,
there.
I think we got that covered here. So Augusto, we are living your mottos. Anyway, if you guys would like to check out his website, his YouTube page, Facebook, and all, I'll have all the details down below in the description. If you would, like we've done in the past, go over there, check it out. If you like it, subscribe to the show. I'm sure he'll really appreciate it. And we know we appreciate you guys for even taking the time to check out other viewers. So thank you. Okay, so that's what you guys have been up to. Here's what we've been up to this week. So, as I had mentioned last week, I was off to the Woodcraft Vendor Trade Show. Now, there was a lot of really cool stuff there, and clearly I won't have time to fit it in this episode, so I'm going to do a special on Wednesday. I say Wednesday. I hope I can do it Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to do a special episode just on what I saw at the Woodcraft Vendor Trade Show. Some things to look forward to, some new tools coming out, and just kind of some of the fun that I had there. You could also, if you want a sneak peek, you can check out the Woodcraft page there on Facebook. They're posting some of the videos and the pictures already of what was there. But at any rate, I want to give to you my review on what I saw. In the shop, I did get some work done. I don't know if you remember, way back when I was working on a cherry coffee table. I put it on hold because the customers weren't in a rush. Anyways, I was doing some more work on it. And I would show you what I've got done, but I actually got all the pieces apart and ready for sanding. So next Monday, I should have at least a photo for you of what it looks like all together. I don't know if it'll be stained and finished, but it should be all assembled. Okay, that brings us to question of the week. Now, last week my question was, how long should this show, What Are You Doing, be? How long should it be? And I would say 90% of you said I should keep it to right around 30 minutes. And Dan, roughly where are we right now?
We are at 22.
Okay, so we're keeping it roughly around 30 minutes. So to do that, people are telling me, most of you are telling me where to keep the time at, but no one was giving me suggestions on how to keep the time there, because everyone's entering more and more pictures every week. Of course, I want to show all of your work and mention your names, because I do appreciate you emailing us and sending your work in. So I'm going to have to come up with some limitations on it. So tell me what you think of this. I don't want to be rude to anyone, but I think new viewers should get their pictures on first.
Yep.
That would seem fair, right?
Yep. And
the folks that are regular, who post every week, I might have to show them every other week. And I'm just going to ask to limit you to one picture a week, because I know some of you guys have been showing me all your projects, and I love looking at every one of them. I really do, but I just can't show 5 or 6 of your projects in one episode here. The last thing I'm thinking about doing is cutting the show in half. Makes sense, right? So, like Mondays, I'm thinking about doing these projects in progress, showing what the viewers are doing and talking about it. And then on Wednesday, doing like question of the week and, maybe like a product, should you own it type of thing. And just, I don't know, kind of whatever we're doing here in our shop.
I think that would work out good.
I think so too.
Try it and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll try it because then, give something for you guys to look forward to in the middle of the week. Like you don't have enough of us. God, that's all we need is more of us, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And so the video's coming up, obviously, on Wednesday. This Wednesday, I'm going to give you the Woodcraft Trade Show review. Friday, I am going to show the video that I should have showed last week. It's how to mount the top on this wine cabinet. And, man, I'd like to do... Dan, I'd like to do a small little product review this week if I could. Do we got any time?
You're at 25 minutes.
25 minutes. All right, I can do this in 5 minutes. I can do this in 5 minutes. So I use these little 6-inch combination squares all the time. I love it. This one is made by Swanson. And not only do I use it to make 90 degrees and 45 degrees, I'll use it to set my saw blade or router table height. I just really like this. But I was talked into trying to use a similar product. This is, I don't know if it's new, but I was given this and said, try this, you're going to like it. This is from Miles Craft, called the Exactor. And, you know, I can do the 90 degree. I can take the screw off and move the gauge down here to make 45. It does have this little shoulder for offset at 3/16 if you're doing door casing. It has little levels on it and so on. But overall, I can sum this product up in one word.
What's that?
Crap. This thing, I'm sorry. I
Ooh,
mean,
and you put their name out there.
I did. But you know, here's
fine,
look.
yep.
I'm not bashing on the company Mild Craft at all. I've never used their products. Maybe they have really, really nice products. I don't know.
But that's not one of them.
Oh my God, this thing is terrible. And you know why? 90 degrees, right? I mean, you're drawing lines. This thing is tight. It's tight. I don't know if you can see that.
Good,
I've got wiggle in this thing.
Yep.
And if I'm drawing a line, the only thing that's going to be exactor on that is going to be exactly off. This thing is crap. And not to mention, to do a 45, I got to take this off and put the gauge.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean, look how efficient this is. You know. Okay, there it is. So, yeah, now I can do my 45. This is garbage, and it's like between 10 and 15 bucks, depending on where you buy it. So, what?
You can just tell, you know, tools that aren't designed by somebody that's used them.
There you go.
You know,
this is sold as a gimmick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, at any rate, I really like this one. I've been using this for a while. This Swanson mini combination gauge. What I really like about this is it's the lines on it. Mm-hmm. They're etched in and painted. So some you'll see are etched, but it doesn't have the paint, so they're hard to read.
Yeah.
It's accurate. It's tight. I've gone through a lot of these by different brands. This one, for me, is holding up the most. I usually go through one of these about once a year, and I have two. I have one in the shop and one in the van. So this one's holding up really, really well. Not this thing. So if you think this show, I give everybody a good grade on every product, you're wrong. And I'm sorry, Miles Craft, send me something that's of worth talking about, not that thing. Okay, how we doing?
You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Well, I think we're doing good. Let's come under the 30s. So,
right.
Anything you want to add?
No, I'm good.
All right. So until next time, thanks for watching. Keep sending your emails with your questions and your photos. And until next time, keep on dancing.